January 2002, the name Ashanti was most closely associated with an American hairdressing chain. By April of that year, Ashanti only meant one thing: Ashanti Douglas, the 22-year-old singer, universally dubbed the Princess of Hip-Hop. By then, her debut album had entered the US charts at #1, with the biggest ever first-week sales for a debuting female R&B artist. She also topped the singles charts with Foolish, and in the same chart contributed vocals to hits by Fat Joe and Ja Rule, becoming in the process the first artist since the Beatles to perform in 3 singles that simultaneously occupied the US top 10. It was a startling achievement, and true to form, one which, on closer inspection, proved not to be of the overnight variety. The road to the top had been long and hard, but helping her all the way had been her mother and co-manager, Tina Douglas, who had been convinced from the earliest moments of Ashanti's life that a star had been born.
My mother definitely always states that she thought I was going to be a star when I was born. My mom and dad definitely have always supported me in whatever it is that I did, you know, finger paint, you know. I guess it was just in her, you know. She knew that something big was going to happen, I guess. I would have to say the environment that I lived in definitely, you know, had a role in my up-and-coming career. But it's like I never woke up one day and said, hey, I want to be a singer. You know, it didn't really happen like that. You know, my mom definitely was a choreographer, and my dad used to sing as well. But, you know, it didn't make me like, okay, I want to definitely be in the business, you know.
Ultimately, Ashanti would inherit her dad's love and talent for singing, but it was to take about 10 years for her to discover that talent through a very fortunate domestic chores accident.
I was doing chores downstairs. I was vacuuming the living room in my house, and my mom was like, you can't listen to the radio, you can't watch television, just do what you have to do, and then when you finish, you know. So she comes stomping down the steps, flying and yelling. She's like, I thought I told you you can't listen to the radio. And I'm like, Ma, that was me singing. You know, she's like, really? Let's hear it again. You know, and we just started doing like local talent shows and things like that. And at the time, I was like 13 years old. They were cool. You know, they were very versatile. You know, they had little kids that were doing like hula hoop thingies, you know, and then they had like, I would dance. My mom would choreograph for like the girl group, you know, that attended the school, and I would dance. We would do like reggae dances and sometimes African dances, and guys would get on stage and, you know, do hip-hop, rap, and then I would get up there and I'd sing. You know, it was always received very well. You know, they're like, wow. You know, I come from a very small town called Glen Cove in New York and Long Island. And, then, you know, everyone kind of knows everyone over there, so they knew I'm Tina and Cade's daughter. You know, that's my mom and dad. Look at Tina and Cade's daughter up there singing, you know, so it was always a good feeling.
Rapturously received on the Glen Cove talent scene, it wasn't long until, at the tender age of 14, a record deal with Jive Records was secured.
She linked up with my co-manager, Linda Burke, and they started like shopping the deal for me. They hooked up with some attorneys, and I had gotten signed to Jive Records when I was 14. They're responsible, I believe, for the Backstreet Boys, and I think Britney Spears is on Jive, I'm not sure. So they're like a really pop-oriented label, you know, and you know, my heart was really in R&B, you know, so I really didn't want to go the pop lane so much, so that, you know, that's why that didn't really work out. I was so young, but I definitely wanted to be hands-on with the project, you know, even though, you know, I was only 14 years old, I'm still like, I know what I like and I know what I don't like, you know, so we definitely had to part ways with that one. It was very difficult, you know, to walk away from, because you never know if you're going to get another deal. You know, you don't know if you kind of got tainted because you were signed to a different label and things like that. And I was really young, you know. I knew I had a lot of time to go, but, you know, it was hard because it was all in the local newspapers around my town and everything. So they're like, oh, so when's the album coming out? And I'm like, well, you know, not on this label.
Got to do it, got to do it.